What's going on YouTube? Reedie Zee. We're back. Breaking news. KJ Osborn was signed today via waivers after Noah Brown is supposedly out for the foreseeable future with an abdominal or somewhere internal, what Dan Quinn said, injury. So let's
Sounds
talk
like
about it.
kidney injury. What I heard earlier when I was riding home. Not sure what was the cause of that, but it sounded like something like that. But yes, today we acclaim KJ Osborn, formerly of the New England Patriots, also formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. He was released within the last 1 or 2 days. I believe it was yesterday by the Patriots. And we put in the claim and we got him. Like you said, it comes as a corresponding move after the Noah Brown situation. We talked about the other day what's next and who can step up to be number two. This is another guy to put in the mix to see. Maybe it might be him. We'll see. But first and foremost, how you feeling about the move, and what's your thoughts, bro?
I mean, man, it's nothing that's going to move the needle for me. Um, he was good when he was with the Vikings. A few seasons he had, a couple good seasons on him, but he's just a role player. I don't think he's going to come in and be expected to do a lot right now. And I don't even know. Well, he has to be signed to the active roster because he was waived. I don't know when he's going to play. I don't foresee him maybe playing this week. He may suit up. Who knows? But this regime, the way they've been moving, they haven't been rushing anybody in. If we look what happened with Noah Brown and we look what happened with Marshawn Lattimore, even though Marshawn Lattimore had the injury, there still was no rush to get him on the field right away. So I think they're going to try to get him acclimated to the systems and what Cliff is doing, learn the playbook, and maybe down the road, Philadelphia or Atlanta, he may see the field. But I think this was just a depth signing for, because we needed, more help in that room. That room is lethargic at the moment behind Terry McLaurin. We just talked about this the other day. The number two that we did have, he's down. So who else steps up in this during this time? Is it De'Ami Brown? Who is it? Are we going to get more from Zach Ertz? Are we going to finally see Ben Sinnott come through? What's going to happen? That's what I'm curious to see.
Yeah, same here. That is the biggest question. It's been a question all season for real. Who is the true number two? Like dating back to when we made the first wide receiver move and trading Jahan, and then we talked about if we was going to acquire Ayuk. We toyed with the T. Higgins idea, and then I think at the deadline we was hoping that we'll be able to make a move there as well, which we didn't. Stayed put, kept the guys that was already on the roster. And, thus far, our receiving group has been, like you said, pretty lethargic outside of Mr. Terry McLaurin. And, this is an opportunity for a guy like Mr. De'Ami, a guy like maybe Jamison Crowder. Like we've been talking about, his 21-day practice window has been open. So the jury is out on him whether he'll be seeing the field at receiver in the slot or if he'll be just on kick returns. So that's something to look out as well. So it's been quite a few movement this week alone in that room. And now that you acquire KJ, the question is out there. What will KJ bring to this wide receiver room? What will a guy like? What does this mean for a guy like Olamide Zaccheaus? Is he going to stay in the mix? What does it mean for a guy like Luke McCaffrey? Are they going to step up and, step into the mode of number two and see what happens? KJ comes in with, in 2021, he had 50 receptions for 655 yards on 7 tutties. 22, he had 60 receptions on 650 yards with 5 touchdowns. And then 2023, he had 48 receptions, 540 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's pretty much been solid as far as playing. The first 2 years he played all 17 games. 2023 he played 16 games. So it's a guy that's getting on the field. This year in New England, he only saw the field on 7 games. This year they was talking about how, he was a healthy scratch quite some time this year. So, you know, I mean, we don't really know what was going on in New England or why they made the move or the switch. We do know it's a mess up there. You know, they started out with Brissett. They ended up with Drake May. They had some, you know, I mean, some movement around in that quarterback room. Gerard Mayo is on the hot seat after 1 year. And then, you know, with the receivers, you had Bourne, you got a couple of other guys, and KJ was in the mix, and then he kind of get phased out. So you wonder what really happened. He had just signed a deal with them this past offseason. So definitely the biggest question is what can he do for us? And, you know, hopefully, like you said, they'll let him get acquainted, let him learn the playbook, and we'll see in a couple of weeks, you know, what he can bring. But you never know. Maybe he even come play this week. I'm not sure, but I highly doubt it based on how this regime has moved thus far.
Yeah, just curious to see why he wasn't getting the touches and the things of that nature, really, you know, becoming a factor for the New England Patriots because he left the Vikings because he wanted to get a little bit more time at receiver. You know, because when he was in Minnesota, he was behind, you know, JJ and you know the others that they had when they had Thielen and the others. He was a third, fourth receiver. I'm just curious to see what why that didn't work out. But they always say sometimes you need to change the scenery, you know, to get your mojo back. But hopefully he comes in and you know he gets his head in the playbook and he comes ready to work and you know help us down the stretch. Definitely is a good player minus this year. He was always a guy that I had in my fantasy like sneaky, you know, down the stretch if you needed somebody in waivers or you wanted to pick somebody up. But like I said, he's not somebody that's just going to wow you and just, you know, wow, we got him. But I think it's a solid depth guy to add to the room, the lethargic room that we do have.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I mean, you know, when I looked it up, he ran a 4.48 coming out of college. You know, he attended Buffalo and the U. Was drafted in 2020 by the Vikings in the 5th round. So he definitely a guy that has some speed on him. He should be able to, you know, stretch the field a little bit. But I'll see him in our offense. He potentially definitely should probably be in that slot. So you may see him in a lot of motions, moving around, kind of get some end around, some handoffs. You know what I mean? Kind of like that speedster guy across the middle, things like that. So definitely interested, you know, to see what happens there. But also, you know what I mean? It does this necessarily move the needle for that room? I don't know. Like you said, you know, when you begin the episode, it was like, when you heard the news, that's kind of like how I was yesterday. You know, a lot came out. I heard people saying, should we get Osborn? Actually, my neighbor Antonio texted me and he was saying we should make the move. And I was telling him I didn't necessarily know what we would do. I didn't necessarily see us making any moves. But then today when they came out and mentioned the information about Noah Brown and explaining the extent of his injury, it made the move make sense once, you know, the claim news came in shortly after 4 p.m. So, you know what I mean? Another weapon for Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has had the ability to allow guys this year, you know what I mean, pretty much to play better, like kind of like play more and better than what they are. He's bringing the best out of them. He make the people around him better. So this could be another situation where, you know, Osborne can come in and Jaden, you know, with the play of Jaden and his ability, he may make Osborne look way better than he's looked in the past, kind of back to what he was in Minnesota. So definitely interested in seeing what's going on there and how well it'll work out for us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, the sky's definitely the limit for this team, and you know, for what we're trying to do, what we're trying to get done, and it just goes to say what Adam Peters and this company are doing, where they're trying to put solid players in position to possibly make plays. But I mean, this might go back to bite us when we said before previously that we should have went out and got a receiver in the offseason, or we should have been, you know, trying to knock the doors down on Brandon Ayuk, like you said, or T. Higgins or others, or before Nuke got picked up, we should have maybe got him. We were a little bit
At the
too
deadline,
conservative
yeah.
and too happy with the room that we had. This may come back to bite us, but hopefully this is more to come with us on this. But also today happened. Lattimore practice today. From the video that I did see from Scott from ABC, he looked like he was moving out there. He was going over some drills with St. Jude. But what are your thoughts on what he brings to the table this week, going up against his old team?
Yeah, well, Lattimore, I mean, all year, ever since we traded for Lattimore, we've been pretty much waiting to see what he can bring, what he can do for this team. And we talked about it over the past few weeks. I just believe that Lattimore will bring that veteran leadership. He's going to show guys how to be savvy, how to be able to do your job without, especially St. Jude, do your job without grabbing so much and getting caught, all the time. Just kind of teach them how to, show them the ropes a little bit. That most of the videos that's been coming out of him in practice has been showing him working with St. Jude. So I believe that's definitely a project and something that the coaches strategically appointed just to kind of make, Benjamin better in a sense. I think it helps Benjamin because, he pretty much will be on the number 2 or, as we said before, as Reedie has definitely doubled down on, is that he would love to see St. Jude in the slot and we keep Mikey on the outside. Not sure if that's going to happen. If so, great. But even if it don't happen and Mikey goes inside and St. Jude's on the outside, we always say he has the size and the ability to play with these guys, but he always just get caught up in the bad time, getting scored on or pass interference calls and stuff like that. So I see a guy like Marshawn helping him clean up some of those things, but also it just helps the defense as a whole. Joe Witt can get creative, can blitz more. He locks down one side of the field, so you can get very creative with your coverages and your packages and your defense as a whole. So I think that it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to uplift that group. And I think that, especially coming in a game where you're going to be facing Spencer Rattler or Jake Hayner, we should eat. The defense should eat Sunday. And, hopefully that happens and, we'll see what goes from there. But I think Lattimore is going to be a great addition to this team. And moving forward, he's going to help us a lot down this stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to the KJ Osborn situation, and the injuries, this is the time of year where you have the attrition and things just start going bad for teams all across the board. But coming off the bye, I think the other players are rested, rejuvenated, and ready to go. Hopefully we can continue to stick with our running game. We shouldn't have too much trouble running the ball against the Saints Sunday, and we use that recipe to success that we've been using when we won these 8 games, and that's running the football and then hitting them with the play action, the intermediate, the short passing game, the screen game. And then also I want to see a little bit more trickery. We had a couple trickery plays in the flea flicker, the Jaden that he checked it down. And some of the other plays that they had. I just want to see a little bit more moving down the stretch. I mean, put all our chips in the middle. If we asked you guys in the beginning of the season, where would we be? Nobody would say we would be right here. So, that's that. And we just got to take advantage of our opportunities. And I think we'll be fine. But in the offseason, it's definitely going to be up for this team. But we're on to the Saints, and it is what it is. Well, what else you think we need to discuss?
I mean, pretty much just I'm looking at some stats over here and just kind of like some plays that KJ has had. They talked about how he had 63-yard touchdown back in 2021. It was pretty much like a game winner. And then it talks about where he's getting like these long scores, 63 yards. He had like an 80-yarder, things like that. So he might be a guy that can take one to the house. We said we pretty much lack that ability on the offense, especially in the receiver room, outside of Terry. And, sometimes Diami, we haven't really had nobody that really kind of can just take the top off or even take a slant and just go. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if he has any returning experience, but I mean, if it's another guy that we can potentially look at to be a kick returner or punt returner for it, I'm open to it. You know what I mean? We've that in that area on special teams, that return game has sucked this year. Zacchaeus has given us nothing, like I expressed the other day. And I'm looking forward to, seeing if a guy like KJ can step in and, get some bump there. Or even if not, I've been calling for Jameson. You know what I mean? I continue to stand on Jameson and his abilities despite his age. I think that, last year he proved that he can still play in this league. And, you know what I mean? He took one to he took that to the house against the Falcons, the game we was at, or did he get caught? That punt return?
No, he got caught. And when we were in Atlanta, he got caught.
He got caught in Atlanta, yeah. But he ended up I think he took another one. He took another one to the house. But yeah, pretty much, I'm all in on James Crowder right now. And what he brings and what he can do for us until we can see what else is going on in that room, because the guys that's there right now haven't really done much. But sneakily, I'm feeling and I'm sensing that Luke McCaffrey is about to have a breakout. One of these games, he's gonna break out and have a game, and I think it's definitely could be this week, or if not, potentially against the Eagles, depending on how much bump he gets and how much he takes advantage of this opportunity with more time. How you feeling about Luke?
He don't have a choice but to have a breakout game. We're in that all hands on deck at this point. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I mean, we've said numerous times, and other YouTubers have said that Luke is always open. He's always open, but he's probably the fourth option. Luke ain't in the progression. Jaden already got off the progression, went to the first or second receiver, and ain't even looked Luke way. Unless he's scrambling, he's on a run, and he's keeping himself alive. Then he might hit a Luke or something like that. But that's on Cliff. Cliff got to scheme it up and get the guy more involved in the in the passing game, as well as Ben Sinnott. Like I said before, they said that these guys was talented and they could do it, but show me, because it's all hands on deck. And I'm not even gonna sit here and act like Noah Brown was the next savior to Jesus Christ, but he gave us something. He was drawing key penalties down the field, keeping us on the field, keeping drives alive. So we need that. De'Ami Brown this year, he turned into the guy that was, catching the slants and those little short routes and getting out of there. We need a little bit more for De'Ami. We need you to have another good game, not your one good game out of the year. You know what I'm saying? So you need to turn up. Like, he was talking all of that stuff in the off season about, like people doubting him and this is that and the third. Well, hello, this is your time. This is your moment. It's set up for you. So if you want to take advantage of your moment, you're a free agent, right? So
yeah, his rookie deal ends this year. So we'll see how he, like you said, take advantage. I felt like De'Ami had multiple times this year where he should have taken this Noah 2 spot by storm and just turned up. Didn't turn out to be the case. He's had flashes, but now that he should have more opportunities. We'll see what he can do, and I just hope he steps up to the plate. Looking over here at the comments, we got people saying this might bite us in the butt. So we definitely should have upgraded the wide receiver 2 spot before the deadline. And we talked about that, multiple times. That's absolutely true. I just was itching for a move. It didn't matter who was going to be for real. As long as we upgraded and got another receiver, would have been happy. I mean, it was no way that I thought that we could make it all the way through with the bats that we had and continue to be, that offense be dominant like that. The offense shocked the hell out of me, through them first 9 games. And then again in against Tennessee with, how well we were able to, push the ball and do things like that. But a lot of that falls on the running game. Outside of Terry, the receivers is almost non-existence. We asked the other day who gonna step up to number 2, and as bad as I wanted to say De'Ami first, I went to Zach Ertz because that's who's been pretty much almost basically the number 2. He's been getting this, he's had some drops, but he's been making a few short catches, and he's been pretty solid this year. And then, you know what I mean, he kind of got a few touchdowns over the last few games. So, you know what I mean, shout out to Zach Ertz for that. But that's not a recipe that's going to, you know, lead us to success, especially down the stretch when we're playing these good and big teams. That defense is going to scheme up, like you said. You know, we talked about it earlier. Who is going to be that guy? Because defenses are going to start blanketing Terry. And when that happens, what's next? Jaden not going to be able to run everywhere. You know, hopefully the run game stays what it is, and we can kind of lighten that load for the receivers and the rest of the offense. But if not, who is going to step up? And that's just the biggest question through it all. So we definitely should have made a trade in the offseason. We should have made a trade at the deadline. I'm happy to see us make a move. It just shows that we, you know what I mean, when before the claim was announced, they asked Dan earlier, you know, what was expected for that wide receiver room. And pretty much we was going to roll with the guys we already have. So that's the mentality that they've been going with all year. And in my mind, I'm like, man, they're not going to make another move. They're not going to do nothing. So it was shocking to see them, you know, claim Osborn. And hopefully that it does, you know, help us in some way. But I don't see it pushing the needle, you know, where they need to be for the receivers. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping some magic happens and he comes here with new energy and he turns up. But you know, it's as of right now, you can't say it's a big unknown. He just left the Patriots. He got cut by the Patriots. They are trash. He played 7 games. He had 7 catches. You know what I mean? It's just like you said earlier, when we picked up somebody's kicker and was gloating over it, and like you said, like if another team lets somebody go, like we picking up people's scraps and thinking that it's about to be a savior for us. Yeah, we got to lose that mentality, you know. And I myself have been basking in that because I can't just jump out and say, "Oh man, this man about to turn up and do all these things," because it's not realistic.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And Mo Genesis in the chat, he says, "Do y'all think we have enough talent to make noise in the playoffs against talented teams on our level?" And I would say this: I was listening to Sports Talk Radio yesterday. I believe Lunel, shout out Lunel. He said, you know, can he put us up against Detroit? Can he put us up against the Eagles? Can he put us up against these other teams of Minnesota, these other teams, and expect us to truly get a win? And when I sat back, when I say all the time, yeah, we can win all 4 of these games. We're gonna win down the stretch. We're gonna do that. But that's the fan in me. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, if I had to judge this and it was the AFC, would I say that? Would I count us to win? I don't know. I think we're ahead of schedule when it comes to where we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't think we was going to be here. We didn't think we was going to be here at all. Not a shot at knocking on 10 wins or possibly getting to 10 wins. I would have told you it was crazy if you said we was going to have 10 wins last year. So I think from a talent standpoint, we're seeing it. Your number 2 receiver has 400 and something yards and 2-3 touchdowns. That's saying a lot. You know what I mean? Look at Cincinnati and what they got. They got Chase and they got Higgins. So that's their number 2. Higgins is their number 2, or you want to classify him as a 1B. You know what I'm saying? They got the guy that's name starts with the I. I can't pronounce his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Andreas is his first name.
Yeah, they got him. Multiple weapons across the team. So I just don't think we have enough. I mean, I thought, you know, Eckler would be a key in that passing game to kind of close that gap with that second and third receiver. But we seen how that worked out, you know, as far as with the concussions and the injuries and things of that nature. Can't stay on the field. Who else do we have that can come out of the backfield? Is it Big Nichols? Is it C-Rod?
C-Rod, maybe. Look like it's gonna look like C-Rod.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ertz, he really can't get too much separation. Yeah, maybe if you get down there and you're on the goal line or you're within 10 to 15 yards to a touchdown, yeah, maybe he can get a little separation and get away.
Mm-hmm.
But we had way too many drops on this season as well. So can these players that was Noah Brown most of the drops, but can these guys be counted on? I was big on OZ in the beginning of the season, but when he had those muff punts and he had a few drops as well, so I don't know if he can do it. So who do we have? Like, teams are going to scheme this up. They know what we do. The read option. We want to get Jaden on the edge. We're going to run our little whams and our traps and our little powers. So, to answer that question, I don't know. I hope we do, but I don't know. I don't know how we mess up.
Now, I wouldn't say I don't think we fully have enough, but I think as long as we have Jaden, he gives us a chance to compete. Now, what supporting cast show up around him after that is beyond his control and beyond, it just depends. But Jaden gives us a chance against anybody, any game, anywhere. And I don't mean to try to sound like Dan Quinn when I said that, but I believe, that's the truth. So as long as these other supporting guys just show up and do their job, like Jaden putting the ball where it need to be and guys having drops, like that's gonna kill us. Guys getting, holding calls or after long plays, stuff like that's gonna kill us. Guys not running the right route or getting the right depth on their route and things of that nature will kill us. But I think Jaden overall just gives us a shot and say we can go against anybody and we'll see from there. Right now we got the Saints, the Eagles, the Falcons, and the Cowboys. I mean, me technically today, like Reedie said, I mean, you would want to win every game, but my prediction out of that I would say probably 3-1 at best, because I just think the Eagles are just electric when it comes to that backfield. And now as far as the rest of the team, they kind of got a lot going on right now. You got the quarterback and the receiver beefing. They 11-2, they winning games and they still having locker room problems. So it's big questions there. But as far as Saquon Barkley in that run game, it's almost unstoppable in my eyes. But again, I think that if we go out and play and do our job, we can beat them. But I also think that, they are the best of those, the best of that batch, and they on the streak right now. So if we beat them if we beat them next week, I would definitely be shocked and, of course, excited, but I'll be shocked more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. People in the comments saying, this says a lot about us, the belief that they have in our wide receiver room by them going out getting a KJ Osborn. What about these guys that are on the practice squad? Why didn't they bring any of those guys up? Bryson Tremaine, those names, guys that were supposedly in training camps, so good. Haven't seen them all year. They haven't broken the 53. So what happened
to Rosamie Jack Saint? He was 6'5", 6'6". I thought he was on the practice squad though.
I thought they cut him.
Yeah, like I definitely was looking for him. I mean, Kaz Allen hasn't really been called up all year. They was talking about early on how, he would have been good in the return game. They had him at running back during preseason and in camp, and they was moving him around. I thought he was going to be a guy that would definitely been up on the 53 by now. So guys like him, and definitely, Bryson Tremaine, he hooped during preseason. That was one of my favorite players during training camp, and I was so excited when he, once he made the team. Well, I mean, not necessarily made the team, but he made the cut, and we end up keeping him on the practice squad. I was thinking that, he would be somebody to come around. And I mean, I don't know if it's just an opportunity thing or if they just not showing up enough in practice, but it's a big question there. Like, where are these guys? You see other teams call up their practice squad guys, and a lot of times don't miss a beat. Or, they calling up guys that just give them some quality reps. For us, it's like, when we needed a receiver, we ran and got Noah from the, waiver ride. Now we needed another receiver. We ran and got Osborn. So definitely, what Kevin said in the comments about, signing Osborn shows what they think of that wide receiver room. And I think at this point, it's just, you know, I mean, they just trying to figure it out and continue to, you know, fix it as they go in a sense. But I do think that we can win at least 3 out of these last 4, and it puts us in a great position for the playoffs. And even if it's 2 games out of the 4, I still think we might can sneak in with 10 wins. So it's up in the air. But the playoff picture, you know, Reedie was talking the other day. He's shooting to get to that 6th spot. So to get to that 6th spot, I haven't really dove into the scenarios, but to get into that 6th spot, we need the Packers to lose, and what else?
No, if we win this week and the Packers lose to Seattle, we take the 6th spot. That's what we need to happen. And we need to stay in the 6th spot. You know, they were going through the scenarios and on all of that this morning, and it's a lot. It's a lot convoluted in these scenarios, but I don't even want to think about that. All we got to do is just do our job, win these games, these all winnable games. I don't know. I don't like what y'all talking about. All these other people like y'all conceding to the Eagles like they like the next coming. Like, bruh, we was there until 5 minutes in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
like,
we were. We were
there with a shitty secondary. St. Jude and all them, they did their job. They held AJ Brown and Devonta Smith to barely nothing. Saquon didn't get going until that the 4th quarter.
He got going.
So if we
my fear is Saquon
that same recipe, and we were driving the ball that game offensively, we just couldn't put up no points. If we put up points, the story of our season in the games that we haven't done well, we just could get down there and we're not putting up no points. We're letting teams hang around. But if we stop doing that and we score, we get them out of there easy.
But so you're saying it easily. You saying it like it's easy fixes though.
I'm not saying it's easy fixes, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not. It ain't even about conceding. It's just looking at the reality of it. Yes, I do think that we could beat them, but do I think we will beat them? It's hard to say yes off the top, just because yes, last game we were in it, but like you just said,
so I get it. Okay.
So just hold on, but like you just said, we talking about how we don't have weapons enough to outside of Terry to make things happen. That's one of the reasons why we couldn't damn score in the red zone against those better teams when it came down, even with the Steelers. When we play them real defenses that's either going to blanket Terry or kind of take him out the way, we ain't got nobody else to step up.
Nah, I don't believe that. I believe that it was people open in them games, and let's just call it a spade.
And they was getting pressure.
Didn't hit him. He got
pressure on him.
Yeah, they got pressure on him, so he didn't hit him. Sometimes you got to stand in there and get hit in the mouth and deliver the football. Like, I love Jaden Daniels, and don't get me wrong, I'm not. Don't come for me in the comments saying I'm talking bad about Jaden, because I'm not. That's my man, 100 grand. I'm rocking with him. I've been rocking with him ever since. But I'm just saying, sometimes he may not be on point either. So you can't just blame it on the receiver. He got to still get them the ball. It's layers. It's the offensive line, then it's the quarterback, then it's the receivers getting open, it's the running backs they got to block. Everybody do their job. I think we're fine. But to sit up here and say, oh, yeah, we might win 3 out of – that's conceding to the Eagles. Fuck them. I don't have no sympathy for them. They not that. The last 2 years, we should have beat them. They not all – they cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not good. They're good. But we can beat them. I'm
not saying we can't beat them, but I'm saying I don't believe I can't.
But I'm saying that's the narrative.
I can't easily just say can't easily look at them and say, oh, yeah, we're going to beat them. Yeah, I can't confidently say that. And we went through this last year.
It's like the first game. So what changed?
Huh?
Because we lost 3 games.
Say that again.
The first game when we went up to Philly, we was in the stat. We was in the building. Mm-hmm. You were saying we was going to beat them, but what changed?
And what changed? Saquon Barkley showed that he liked that.
We knew that. We knew that.
I mean, yeah, and look what he did in that little bit of time. He took over a game. He took over that game, and we got 2.
He had 2 runs. The defense was tied. How many times they stopped him before that? So my whole point is if we play complimentary football, we're good. We good money.
Those are big ifs, is all I'm saying. Be based on our talent. Based on the supporting cast, those are big ifs. That's all I'm saying.
We ain't had supporting cast then, Z. We didn't have a supporting cast.
And we lost. And we lost.
We was going to win.
I was confident saying it going in, and it showed. We lost. We lost that game. We had it like right there. We should have won. We couldn't do shit.
Pittsburgh, same thing. Should have won that game.
I said top defenses we couldn't do shit.
We right there on the doorstep. We lost by 1 point to Pittsburgh. So we got to see, for instance, if Pittsburgh was in the NFC and we had to play them again 2 times and they was in our division, you would say, oh, nah, we gonna concede. I don't think that we.
I'm not saying we necessarily gonna lose, but I'm worried. I worry about the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, because they turning up at a pivotal time when needed, and the same thing happened last year.
When did they turn up, Z?
Nigga, they're winning. What are you talking about? They're winning.
They barely won this week. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, this week was a fight for them. This week was a total fight, but they still won.
I get that. I understand.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Respect that they winning, bruh. Fuck how they win it. Yeah, respect it. But what I'm trying to say about you, let me finish. You do this every year. Every time I come out my mouth and say the Philadelphia Eagles are turning up and they are real. 2 years ago, I said the shit. Was that whatever year they went to the Super Bowl? I'm like, yo, these niggas like that. You got mad. It's something about the Eagles that tick you off when somebody admits that they are a good team. Yeah, they got issues. Yeah, they have issues like everybody else, but they find a way to win.
No, I'm not mad. I said they're a good team, but I said
you be going way. They ain't shit. We can beat them. You do that every year.
No, it's not every year. It's every year. It's that person in your house gets to get in your head. And then you started conceding.
It ain't got nothing to do with
want to be a fan for real.
It ain't fuck out of here. Never. It ain't got nothing to do with her. I just can admit when I told you they ran. I even got the text. I even said they run their team. They're a real organization. They draft well. They sign people well. They work the cap. They get the picks. They do everything fucking right, and they win. And y'all got mad at me and told me I was glazing. I told the truth.
Nah, I didn't.
It ain't got nothing to do with. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody in my. You and L. Before glazing with the glazing. I mean, y'all didn't use that term, but y'all said, "Oh, y'all, you sucking them off," and I'm like, "Damn, y'all almost made me lead a thread." Like, you know what I mean? I almost left my own thread. Like, damn, niggas mad at me because I'm telling the truth about a team they doing what they need to do to be successful. And earlier this year, we thought they was real shaky. And they came back and bounced back. That's all I'm saying. Yes, they are beatable. I would love to beat them.
It was winning when we played them. That's what I'm saying.
As of right now, they scare me. They scare me. They scare me. Yes. Okay. That ain't saying I'm conceding to. I'm just saying they scare me.
It really is saying you can say this. It's saying that you're going to show up on the 22nd in Uptown Federal and be sitting in your chair and hoping that we get a victory.
I'm be like you in the chair the whole game.
You're gonna be like, yeah, really, we got him yet? Nah.
I could say you can fear a team. What's wrong with fearing a team?
I mean, yeah, you can fear a team, but nah.
You just don't want to do it because it's them. That's all.
No. I call a spade a spade.
If it was the Kansas City Chiefs or anybody else, you wouldn't want to be. You would be like, nah. Yeah, okay.
Bro, I was scared to play the Browns. I was scared to play. I'm still scared to play the Eagles. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but I'm just saying at the end of the day,
what's your case for saying
if we can beat whoever, it's on us. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not arguing that. All I'm saying is, as of right now, looking at the schedule, they're the only team left that I fear.
We are ahead of schedule. So I give y'all that. We are definitely ahead of schedule. I didn't think we was going to be here. But if we here, we might as well stomp with the big dogs.
Might as well, absolutely.
What are we doing? Oh, we going for moral victories? Oh yeah, Reedie, yeah. We
who had a mill?
I'm just saying this is the narrative. Oh yeah, we wasn't supposed to be here. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying I'm speaking generally. Oh, we wasn't supposed to be here. You know, we don't have a good team. You know, this is a recalibration, a rebuild, da. But if we have the strength of schedule, we have all of the factors to win right now. So why not win? So why just be
we got all the factors to win right now.
We in our favor. As far as we don't have a tough schedule. The last 4 games ain't a tough schedule. The only
I thought you was including the roster.
The roster is not where it needs to be at. No, I never would say that.
I thought you was some of the roster. Go ahead.
No. But I'm saying with the roster currently constructed, we have an opportunity to win a game or 2 in the offs. That's all I'm saying. But look at the Eagles. Last year they was 10-1. Everybody was scared of them. What happened down the stretch? But they didn't have Saquon. They had everybody else. And besides Keon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They had everybody else. So then what? They had all of them weapons on offense, and they had a good back last year.
Who was their back last year? Swift?
Swift.
He wasn't even really getting the ball. I don't know what that was about.
I'm just saying, like, what?
We all know any given Sunday, anybody's beatable. We're not arguing. I'm not saying that they're unstoppable. I just said of the 4 games, they're the team I fear the most. And that's okay. That ain't conceding.
Well, okay. I give you that.
Yeah, it ain't conceding.
You ain't conceding.
But I mean, even looking at the comments, they laughing at us. Yeah. And we saying it's not enough firepower on our offense yet.
But it was enough. I agree with y'all to that point that we don't have the talent.
Like we not ready yet.
We not ready yet. But when we was putting up 40 on niggas, they were saying they was celebrating it. So why we couldn't put up? It's the NFL any given Sunday. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If we win a playoff game,
Philadelphia don't scare me either.
If we win a playoff game this year, would it help or hurt? I don't think it hurts in no way. It
hurts at all.
Yeah, nah. I mean, like we said, we're ahead of schedule, so getting a playoff win push you in the later 20s of the first round. I mean, it'll be talent there. That's the only thing it's going to change is the draft pick. But I think it helps us more than anything. It continues to give us more confidence. It shows that, you know, this staff can coach up guys and, you know, get to maximize their abilities out of, you know, what they can get out of them. Also, I mean, it continues to make us more attractive. You know what I mean? Not only with having new ownership and new coaches and Jaden and all that, it makes it attractive. But with a playoff win, it'll be over the top. Everybody gonna want to come here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes us a destination. You know, the more the merrier. You know, the more wins, the more we do. You know, them free agents, you know, that we can possibly bring in with the cap space that we have, makes us more marketable. So it can only but make it better. And what we got going on. So
what's up, Wop? Say I got us winning out. That's how Reedie feel.
That's how I feel. Now, in the back of my mind, do I think that we may lose one? Yeah, I do. But I'm going in it trying to win all of them. I'm trying to go 12-5. That's what I want. I ain't seen this team go 12-5 in my lifetime. I don't remember. When was we 12-5, Z? Or 12 and whatever? When it was less games.
None of them. None of them.
So I don't remember 91 when I was 6 years old. I don't remember that.
Yeah. None of them years I remember. None of them. Let's see. The Eagles can be beat. Jalen is overrated. I agree Jalen is slightly overrated. We need to apply pressure on him for real this next game. Their offensive line kind of been holding up. Let's be real. JD was hurt versus Philly. He still was. He was hurt. That's a fact.
Wes said, until we get consistent secondary play, we should remain concerned about the elite teams we score or anybody. So in the chat, when have our secondary kind of like let us down in recent weeks?
You said recent weeks?
Yeah, in recent weeks, like when we were really like, we ain't really got burnt up by nobody in a minute.
Dallas? Was it Dallas?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember Dallas really burning us up. CD didn't really do too much. But what I'm saying is this: you put Marshawn Lattimore on the field, he locks down one side. So, you know, you got Noah I, you got St. Jude, and you got Mikey. You got Mikey on. I hope they keep Mikey on the outside and let Noah I and St. Jude fight, like I said before, fight it out for the inside. I think we fine. I think we're gonna be in the cover threes. We're gonna be in man-to-man. That's what they traditionally been, a cover 3 team. When he was in Seattle, they was a cover 3 team. They was a man-to-man team. They're going to bring Chin down in the box. He's going to be the extra guy in the box to stop the run against these teams. we're gonna let Louvu eat off the edge and let him rush the passer. Because we're getting nothing out of Doris Armstrong and company. You know, they'll flash here and there, but consistently week in and week out, they're not really affecting the quarterbacks. I mean, we're getting pressure with blitzing when they're blitzing Wagner, when they're blitzing Louvu. And I like Chin as a blitzer as well. So I don't think we want to say that consistent secondary play because the secondary has been much improved. What do y'all think?
If I see St. Juice on the field, I'm targeting him nonstop all game, different wide receivers every time.
But let me take y'all back to St. Jude's rookie season. Remember, St. Jude was in the inside. He was playing on the slots. St. Jude was kind of like that guy because we all was saying, I know me and Z was saying like, that he really can cover in there. Y'all don't remember that? Because I remember it. St. Jude ain't started getting burnt until he got to the outside. That's when he started really getting burnt. When St. Jude was in the inside, he was jamming his man. He was doing all of the stuff. He was covering tight ends. He was all right. Now, I'm not going to say that he going to do that now, but I'm just saying, like, we got to remember, like, he was better.
Yeah. Lattimore hasn't played a full season since 21. That's my only concern. Good point. Good point. Did you see L's comment? Would you rather play Seattle or Philly in the first round?
I'd rather play Seattle. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, the other day, I mean, for personal reasons, I would definitely want to play Philly so we can get to the game and I would want to beat them and put them out of playoff shit like that. But based on, like I just said, deep down the side, like if you want to base it off, like, are you trying to go in and win? And you know what I mean, who you think is you can beat and get to the next round, of course you'll take Seattle over Philly. But for personal reasons, I can drive up to Philly and make that game. Flying to Seattle for a playoff game is gonna be stressful.
It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's Christmas time. My kids come home from school. I ain't got it. I ain't gonna hold you. Reedie ain't got it. Reedie will not be.
That's why I met
with it on the TV.
That's why I met with it with that for sure.
Nah, but for real, like I mean, even though they said that this was a recalibration year, we're ahead of schedule. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't want everyone to lose sight of we have an opportunity, and I'm sounding like a coach right now, but we got an opportunity to do something that we ain't did, and I don't know how long. This is what we've been asking for. We've been asking for this to come down the stretch and get in the offs and win a game or win 2 games, but we gotta win. So if we win, then we get that number 6 seed, and we got an easier shot to win and get the second round. Because I don't want to see Detroit. I damn sure don't want to see the Eagles again. I'm mad that we got to play them again, but we got to play them. And like Z said, like, you know, it's just a little banter back and forth, but you know, I believe we could beat them.
Yeah. Hold on. They said Jaden was knocked from the top spot in the NFL rankings. Did you see that?
What top spot?
Guess he was ranked number 1 rookie.
Oh, so now Bo Nix is the guy?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now, but I just seen the headline when I'm searching. So, yeah. Damn.
I do believe we should keep they're saying if we keep Cliff for the long haul, we'll be all right. Offensive talent and DBs is all we really need. And I agree. But I feel like we need an edge too. We definitely need a dominant edge. We need to either get an edge in free agency or we need to. I'm not too familiar with too many of the edges that are coming out, but like a Max Crosby or somebody that's not happy in their situation now. We got $90-something, $100 million in available cap after the season. So we got to go out and do something there. Also, I think we might want to look into. We need a running back as well. Like, don't get me wrong, B-Rob, I love him, but B-Rob can't take it anywhere on the field. Like the other day when he took that 40-yard one, I was shocked that he had a burst then.
I was damn shocked.
So, like, I love him. Like, don't get me wrong, B-Rob, he cool. but we need a Alshon Jenney, somebody that could take a Saquon Barkley, could take it anywhere on the field at any time. Derrick Henry could take it anywhere on the field at any time. We don't have that, and none of our backs. And I thought Eckler was a back that could take it anywhere on the field, but he can't take it anywhere on the field. We've seen that. So, and I love Eckler. I've been calling for him for years.
Yeah, Seattle definitely is not a cakewalk, but we definitely owe Seattle from them years of playing with them and them putting us out of the playoffs. Going back to LaRon Landry, Carlos Rogers year we lost to Seattle. Going back to the RG3 days we lost Seattle. We just always bumped into Seattle. Like Seattle always was putting us out the offs. So it's just like, I mean, technically, if we did play them, we kind of owe them a little bit. What you was laughing at?
No, I'm laughing at you talking about Carlos Rogers.
Yeah, he dropped that damn interception, man.
Sean Alexander times and shit. God dang.
Yeah, but it was like, I mean, it's the truth. Seattle always was putting us out the playoffs. So, what I mean? It'd be, yeah.
And then RG3, we was in the building.
That's
we
what
was
I said.
RG3
too.
We was up, and we see what happened in that one. Yep. So we definitely owe them. We owe anybody. We want our reparations for all of these years of being trash. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can do it, bro. Like, nah, for real.
Yeah. But why would see what you got trained for? Traded for before the deadline. Who got moved? Well, I mean, the number one choice was Higgins, but they wasn't really. Yeah, he wasn't really on the block. I mean, they wasn't. They ain't make no moves or anything like that. So next in line would have been Nuke. How you let? I think the Chiefs got him for like what, a 6th round pick or something like that. It was something super cheap, and it's just like, damn, we ain't had that. That's how Reedie be called. When you call Reedie, like, yeah, Reedie, you see the quick? Damn, we couldn't send a 6.
Right. Facts. It's always something minimal. We ain't had that. I do be like that. Nah, for real, bro. Like, nah.
Trade him a 6. I'm done with this team.
We couldn't send a 4th.
Yeah, like, man. And Nuke came out and hooped that first game. He kind of fizzled right now, but he's still doing this. He's still doing this thing. And I think in the playoffs, he gonna hoop.
They say 12 and 5 sounds sweet. It do sound sweet. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm pushing for it. 12 and 5. Fuck our. Well, there's people out there talking about in these blogs and on these. I listen to Sports Talk Radio all day. They talking about, yeah, we're killing our draft positioning. Who cares?
Who cares?
Draft position. We deal with the draft when we get to the draft.
Yeah, I ain't worried about no damn draft.
Hey, look at all of these top teams. Kansas City, they find guys at the end of the draft every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll get somebody. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, though, what else we got?
The secondary getting better week to week. With Lattimore getting on the field to continue to grow, I agree. They said KJ Osborn was clutch. They said St. Jude would definitely be in the slot. He never was a number one. I ain't never say he was a number one.
Mm-hmm.
They said St. Jude is done. Get the big dog out the way. They knocked us out in the first round a few times. We owe them. We owe Philadelphia for all of them years back when they had McNabb, when we was about to beat them, and they would just give the shovel pass to Westbrook or a screen out the backfield or something. It'd be third and forever. We owe them. I'm tired of them. I don't care who they got. They can have Osama bin Laden. I could care less. We can get them niggas out of there. I'm tired of them.
Bin Laden, though. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
We need to draft Kyron Lacey from LSU. I like him. It's a couple good receivers, a couple good backs, that are linked to us, coming out. But I feel like if it was me, I would rather take my chances with getting a proven commodity at receiver than I would spend some money and go get Higgins, and then I would draft one of them good running backs that they got. I would draft one of them. I know it's a tough sell to draft him in the first round, but I've never been a guy to, devalue running backs and not draft them and want to wait. I mean, talent is talent. You need talent all across the board at every position group. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been a lot of draft talk. I just can't get into it yet. It's not during the season.
They saying
Seattle,
Seattle.
And then they saying Genty to us, like we should draft him, but it's like he gonna be gone by the time we pick. So like, how's that even a realistic conversation?
Yeah. I mean, unless AP get on his GM and shit, and he strikes some deal and move up, that's the only way we're gonna be in that sweepstakes, because it's gonna be somebody that's gonna snatch his ass up quick. He could take it anywhere on the field. He got finesse, he got power. Flat out do it, man. Like, that boy's nasty. They saying, do y'all think that they're gonna flex the Philly game? Initially, I was thinking that they would, but I don't know. I think it might be too late. They would have
done it by now. Yeah, they would have done it by now.
Yeah, they would have had to do it this week. But I have seen them flex stuff late before, so we don't know about that. They might. They're saying Rachaad White is a free agent next year. He played with JD at Arizona State. We talking about the dude from the Bucks, right? The running back from the Bucks.
Irving, Bucky Irving. Who you talking about?
Oh no, who's Rasheed? I don't know. No.
Oh, Rachaad White. White played for the Bucks too. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like they saying how we feel about Nichols and Rodriguez. I feel like Nichols was showing us something, and I feel like they got away from him. I feel like in some of them games, the play calling and where we were in the game kind of dictated where he was getting bottled up, and they stopped really giving him the ball. I feel like Rodriguez, he runs hard and he can he's a good change of pace sometimes, a good giving somebody a blow or something like that. But other than that, we gotta ride B-Rob. I wish that we had more of a versatile, a Chris Thompson type third down back. That's what we're lacking right now. And we thought Eckler was that, but the injuries, we don't have nobody behind him. I mean, we got Wiley. Was Wiley still on the practice squad?
Yeah.
That might be the only one close to that.
They haven't even considered calling him up though. So they've been on just keep moving C-Rod up and on and off the practice squad. So I don't know what's the deal with Wiley and why they may not have called him up or anything like that. But I mean, in reference to McNichols, yeah, he was definitely had that first game. B-Rob went down. McNichols came in and was pretty solid. But like Reedie said, they was giving Eckler pretty much the bulk of the carries, and I felt like that's what got that man hurt. Like Eckler, trying to turn Eckler into this guy getting all them carries, all them touches, and having them on kick return was just insane. So I mean, it was good to kind of see, C-Rod come out and get that 100 yards that game. Well, almost 100 yards against the Titans. Hopefully it rolls over to this week and beyond. But I would love to see McNichols get more touches. I mean, I always felt like McNichols was pretty solid as a backup. Even from his time when he was in Tennessee.
They also saying that we think Seaver can make a return and play as good as he was before Dallas. I don't have no issues with Seaver. I think he was fine. I think the reason why he missed some 2 field goals because he was injured. And he was trying to, gut through it. So I think if a fully healthy Seaver, I think he'll be fine. But I am concerned with kind of like that chemistry. If Zane Gonzalez kind of gets us there through these last 4 games, and then the playoffs come, and then you bring Seaver back, I don't know. I kind of want to say stick with the person that gets you there, but then if we get into the playoffs and just hypothetically, and they start missing kicks, then we're going to be questioning that. Like, well, why didn't they go with him? Well, why did they? So that could go either way.
Yeah, for real. I was watching the clip earlier or yesterday, and they was asking Bobby Wagner about Jaden and when did they know basically Jaden was him. That guy. He was saying early on, you know, when they first came in, the OTAs, and just how he was showing up early, and you know what I mean, one of the first guys there getting all his studies in. And then he said when training camp rolled around, he just was comfortable and was just clicking from all cylinders. And then he said Jaden had the nerve to even like go on a run and come his way and start talking shit. And he was like, from then, he just, you know what I mean, they just been locked in. But, you know what I mean, just early on, the team pretty much knew Jaden was going to be the one. So, I mean, they got a lot of confidence in this kid. And hopefully, you know, they continue to provide the support that he needs so we can maximize this rookie deal, because that window starts to close when you got to re-sign that quarterback to that deal. The only team I've seen to have continued success after giving their quarterback a bunch of money is the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Everybody else, once you pay that quarterback, you start losing your weapons, and you know what I mean, things just start happening. So we got to strike in this window, and I think we on the right path. It's going to, you know, it's going to take some movement, and I think this, like you've been saying all year, this off season is going to be one for the books. But before we get all the way there, let's beat the Saints.
Amen.
Mm.
Amen, Deacon Z. We appreciate you, brother.
Go ahead.
You still my man, but you kind of threw me off with that conceding.
I ain't concede nothing. I said fear. You took fear and ran and said concede. That ain't concede. You can win with fear.
Yeah,
that's all I said. Fear.
Yeah, but I mean, that's going to do it for us on this episode. But tap in with us, man. We appreciate y'all joining the live on Instagram. We appreciate y'all joining the live on Facebook and YouTube. But do us a favor, man. Go give us a subscribe on Instagram, man. We just hit 500 subscribers.
YouTube. YouTube, you said Instagram.
Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. Go give us a subscribe on YouTube. We just hit 500 subscribers, on our way to 1,000 subscribers. You know, we're trying to get monetized. You know, anything helps. Help us. You know, we just two guys that just love this team, and we just enjoy talking about it, enjoy the conversation with like-minded individuals. Shout out to our sponsors, great clothing line. Be great in everything that you do, from your job, from being a parent, from being whatever, a husband, whatever, just be great at it. We want to shout out KB3 Events. We also want to shout out Ceray's Catering. And we also want to shout out Evolution of Kings and everybody else that's, just been supporting us. And we also want to give a shout out to the other content creators that's been tapping in with us, collabing with us, and, just keeping it 100 with us as we are on this journey. Go ahead, Z.
And we also want to shout out our wives for putting up with our shit as we push through and chase this dream of ours and everything we do. Without them and their sacrifices that they make for the family and us, we ain't shit without them. So shout out to them. We love them. And that's the real.
Respect. But yeah, we'll be going live, with any breaking news moving forward this week and so on as we get into the playoffs. But we'll be on Instagram in the comments. We'll be on all the platforms in the comments. So just chime in and holler at us. But until next time, I'm Reedie, and that's Z, and we are Reedie and Z, and we gone.
Peace out.